Well, the Liberal National Party's taxation Pandora's box. Now you're all excited, aren't you? All those working people out there, the whole million of you, that includes me. We're all about to get a $1,028 tax cut. Well, in the next 24 hours, I'm sure the Centre Alliance senators will buckle over and bingo. But taxation is an interesting concept when you think about it, because how are they going to continue to provide the services that are required, especially in deteriorating economic circumstances, which means in plain English, how are they going to find the cash to look after all those people who will be joining the unemployed over the next 24 months, 2 years? How are they going to find the cash to look after the 33% of Australians who are on social security benefits in one kind or another? How are they going to find the cash for all those self-funded retirees who now find they're going to have to apply for an old age pension because of decreasing interest rates eating into their the money they make from their savings? It's a very interesting concept because we've reached a stage in human development, especially in Western democracies, where we don't need people. We don't need people to keep an economy going. All an economy is basically the interaction between people in a particular society. With the introduction of artificial intelligence, mechanisation, the digital revolution, we've now reached a critical phase in human development where we don't actually need people to be in the paid workforce. But we have a dilemma. We live in a capitalist society. Capitalism is based on the concept of never-ending growth and making profits irrespective of the human, social, environmental and national costs. For you to have a decent life in a capitalist society, you need disposable income. That's right, I'll say it again. We are in a public laneway, there will be trucks. Disposable income, BISPOSABLE, a little bit like Paul Keating's tax cuts, as you're old enough to remember the joke. So disposable income, what that means is after you've paid for your basic necessities, board, lodging, food, maybe energy bills, got any money left over, you can enjoy yourself in a capitalist society. The type of life you can lead in a capitalist society totally hinges on the amount of money you have at the end of the week, which you don't need for essentials. And we've now reached a situation where more and more people are finding at the end of the week they don't have no disposable income, which means you can't buy garbage or go on holidays or buy a fancy car, or one of those really fancy vacuum cleaners that goes round and round and round, or have a security system where you can actually, change things in your house from 10,000 kilometres away. So you need disposable income. So if you haven't got any disposable income, because unions have been legislated out of existence and there's no wage growth, what happens? The economy slows down. As the economy slows down, people are out of work, there are fewer and fewer people who can enjoy life in a capitalist society. So we have a huge dilemma, and it doesn't really matter how many taxes. Look, we're in a public school, relax, we can't afford a studio. You got the money, you get us a studio and we'll use it next week, okay? Or the week after, I'm sure you haven't got the money for a studio, we haven't. So we find nooks and crannies. So getting back to our dilemma. So you've got increasing population growth. You haven't got enough jobs for everybody. Not everybody has millions of dollars in their investment accounts and lives off their earnings. Not everybody's negative period is second home. Not everybody's living off franking credits, which is basically government welfare for the rich. So how do we resolve this problem? Well, when you look at the Liberal National Party coalition, you solve the problem by squeezing the poor. You solve the problem by squeezing people on a New Start allowance, disability support pension, single parents benefits, old age pension. And then you solve the problem by squeezing people on low incomes, like all those retail and hospitality workers who are losing $80 to $100 a week because of the Fair Work Commission judgment to decrease overtime payments on Sunday, like the hairdressers will in the next few months, and it's interesting to see that all these occupations are basically dominated by women. So how do you solve the problem? Now, I'm not here just to bitch. I'm not here just to, say, woe is me, the sky's falling in. There are solutions, but these solutions are radical solutions, and that's why I'm the convener of public interest before corporate interest, and that's why I encourage you to join public interest before corporate interest, because unless we've got a social movement and a political party that is willing to look at these issues seriously and put forward serious alternatives, things are going to get worse for the majority of people in this country, irrespective of how many tax cuts we have, irrespective of how many interest rates go down. Things will get worse for the majority of people. So what am I recommending? What is public interest before corporate interest recommending? One is a basic living wage, which we've spoken about. Everybody gets a basic living wage. How do you pay for a basic living wage? You can do it in one of two ways. You can nationalise. Terrible word, nationalisation. You can nationalise without compensation every mining corporation on this country. Why should Australians and the original inhabitants, Indigenous Australians, only receive royalties for the wealth that is in the ground? We could solve Aboriginal poverty tomorrow. We could solve poverty tomorrow if we nationalised every mineral corporation, every gold mine, every diamond mine, every coal mine, every titanium mine, every uranium mine, every iron ore mine in this country. The mining sector only employs 2% of Australians. It will never employ more, it will employ less with increased mechanisation. It is our wealth. It is the wealth of Indigenous Australians and the wealth of every other Australian. Why should we get a peppercorn royalty? If we controlled the mining sector as a people, we could live the life of Larry. For those of you who remember Larry, nice chap, lived a great life. 1930s, Sam was living the life of Larry, living a great life. We could. We wouldn't have child poverty. We wouldn't have people not actually able to have a holiday. We could do lots of things. Now, if we don't want to go down that path because it's a little bit too radical, we could actually bankroll a national living wage by introducing a 1% stock market turnover tax. Why should the people get franking credits? Why don't they have to pay the privilege of having a stock market there? 1% turnover tax could raise $30 billion a year. 1% stock market turnover tax. You could have a 1% turnover tax for corporations who turn over more than $2 million a year, which would exclude most small businesses. You could raise $100 to $120 billion a year. Two simple things. You could remove the GST exemption for businesses. When you buy something, you pay the GST, you don't get it back. When a business buys something and uses it to create wealth, they get the GST back. Why should they get the GST back? You get raise another $20, $30, $40 billion a year. And last but not least, something that everybody ever talks about is public housing. Now, how's public housing going to solve issues? Well, it's very simple. If you have a strong public housing sector, that sector competes directly with the private housing market. If rents are fixed at 25% of income for public housing, as the public housing stocks increase, rents decrease for the rest of the community, housing price at the lower end of the housing market decrease, and more importantly, hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars are released into the community because people have disposable income. Because they're not paying 30, 40, 50, 60% on rent or mortgage repayments, they're paying 25%. So these are things that we should think about, because going down this deregulation, privatisation, globalisation, corporatisation road has delivered dividends for a small section of the community. It's created billionaires, multi-millionaires, millionaires, but for 90% of the population, it has really done very little. Everybody is up to their neck in debt. They need to work. Jobs are disappearing. Social cohesion is breaking down. We turn on each other, thinking that the other is the problem, the person of a different colour or a race or gender, nationality, sexual orientation, and the list goes on and on. The problem isn't that. The problem is we live in a capitalist society where everything is geared to maximise the profits of those people who have wealth. You need wealth to make wealth. If you're an ordinary wage earner, a small business person, you work hard for your money, you put in the hours, you pay your tax, you obey the law, you're a loser. That's 21st century capitalism for you. People have walked over you for far too long, so I encourage you to look beyond the blinkers. Look beyond the corporate media blinkers, the government gilded ABC blinkers. Look at the potential that we have as a nation. We are 24.2 million people on a resource-rich continent. And we can't solve unemployment, homelessness, poverty, despair. The list goes on and on. If we can't do it, who can do it? Listen in next week or the week after for another public interest before corporate interest YouTube presentation. But ultimately, I'd like to say to you, I can talk till the cows come home, and I'm sure I could do a 24-hour talk fest. I'm sure I could do it. But at the end of the day, unless you become involved, talk is talk. Talk is cheap. I need to walk the walk, and I'd like to walk the walk with you. And one way of walking the walk is looking at our Facebook pages, looking at our internet pages, and more importantly, joining public interest before corporate interests, becoming a member of this new political party and social movement, and taking the initiative in the struggle to change our lives, and more importantly, the lives of our children and grandchildren who have no future in a society where the social elevator has been dismantled.